Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Rusty Rides Gravel, and welcome back to the longest, loneliest, loveliest glen in Scotland. Today we are exploring the western end of Glen Lyon. So you join me, having just left the West Highland Superhighway, mega busy, setting off from Tindrum and the Green Welly stop, and we're at Glen Corellon, this little one just here, which is just our little divert off before we head up the main glen towards Loch Lyon and have a loop of that on this wonderful sunny morning. This is a 55-kilometre lap of Loch Lyon from Tindrum. We will head north up the West Highland Way towards Bridge of Orchy. We will head off up the path of the river Kinglas, but first divert up the small glen of Glen Corellon before continuing up. Once up at Loch Lyon, we will cycle around it clockwise before descending back down the way we came to Tindrum. So we've just struggled our way along the West Highland Way with all the people, and now we've left that and it's got nice and quiet. So I think our first port of call is to go and have a look at that viaduct, and then go back along and have a look at the Kinglas viaduct, and then navigate our way up the glen. This is going to be a good one. Let's go. So this is turning out to be a lovely little glen. Quite liking this. Now, this track here will take us back onto the high loop, back down to where we need to go. But I plan on having a go of going up there to the top. Now, it's not clear if you can actually cross over, but we'll go and have a look. If not, we can just come back here, pop up onto the track and head our way back to Kinglas and up into Glen Lyon. Alright, we're at the top at the weir, where Kamut showed there wasn't really a track crossing. Now, the water level's pretty low, so I think I'm just going to hop across the gap here and trundle back up onto that track. But if you come here and the water's too high, it's like 5 seconds just to drop back down the hill and take the road back up to catch this other track. I'll give it a go since I'm here though. How hard can it be? Bit of an abrupt stop here. Bit of the old landslide has happened. Not cycling over this. This is definitely the way to do this little bend. Do the low road going up and the high road coming back. So we're now onto your usual railway type 1 gravel. The horrible, angular, massive, impossible to get a clean line on. Right, we're down back at the Kinglas viaduct. That last bit there with the railway gravel, that's horrible. I don't know why they use that. Good for ballasting railways, not good for laying gravel tracks. But the rest of it, absolutely brilliant. And like I was saying on the way down, go up on the low side and come back on the high side. I think that's the way to do it. But now, let's go up here and make our way into Glen Lyon proper and have a look at the reservoir. Oh well, I'm sorry, but I think this might just be the most stunning glen I've ever been in. Look at that, just look at it. I've barely even started. Oh, this is brilliant, love it. Those are two very nice people I just met. They're cycling up this glen to then walk up a Munro. Rather than me, cycling it is enough, let alone going for a walk as well. So when I was looking up this place, Glen Leon, and it said it was the longest glen in Scotland, 30 kilometres long, that didn't seem right. Things like where Loch Ness is, that must be longer surely. I don't know. I don't pretend to know that that is a true fact, but the internet claims Glen Leon is the longest glen in Scotland. Oh, there's the loch, there it is. Alright, Loch Leon, we made it. Look at it. I think the way back, the track here, that's going to be a bit of a tricky thing to do, but other than that, I'm quite looking forward to the way back. So I've chosen to go anti-clockwise for no particular reason, just did. So our path today will take us round the end, around that side, all the way along that other side. You can see the track just along the bank, and then down to the dam at the end, and then back up this side. It's going to be pretty awesome. What a day it is for it as well. Couldn't have asked for more than this. A perfect day. All that wind. Editing this is going to be a nightmare. Everything's so good. Apologies if this turns out to be a really long video. So you join me just paddling through the water, ready to set up a shot for another ford crossing. It is nice and relaxing on the toes. Oh, so nice. Just the right amount of chill. You wouldn't want to do this after any amount of rainfall though. Some of these fords would get pretty crazy, I think. But right now, they're pretty good. What do you think? That little beach down there, good for a paddle? I think so. Let's go and paddle. That was far enough. Just like to take this moment to remind you that if you feel like supporting the channel, as well as subscribing, which does a lot of help, and watching the videos, you can also buy some merch from the merch store, link below, and also buy me a coffee from the Buy Me a Coffee store, link below. You'll also find all my routes on Komoot. All the GPX files can be downloaded if you subscribe to Buy Me a Coffee. have them all at your disposal whenever you want, or just keep it free, watch the videos, subscribe, that costs you nothing. Get the GPX from Komoot, that costs you nothing. You are most welcome. So we're underneath the dam now. Look at the walls. Ooh. My friend Hamish came for a run around here, some long distance running event, and he mentioned there was a tunnel that goes through the dam foot. I don't know if that's going to expose or not. I don't know if you can see anything. Look at that. Cool. Very smart. Right, I need to find somewhere where there are no flies. Absolutely swarming with flies. Now I'm going to get some lunch. So we finished our lunch underneath the imposing spectre of this dam. Huge, great thing. We're now going to continue the tradition of having a fairly brutal climb, I think, straight after having lunch. So we have to go up, right up there, just along above the dam itself. There's a track that we have to climb up to from over there somewhere. So that's going to be fun to do. So I'm looking forward to that. That way down there takes you further down Glen Leon. I've cycled the bottom half of it before when I did a coast to coast once upon a time, but I've never cycled this side up to here. I think it's supposed to be really good. I think the road's also been resurfaced recently as well, so it could be pretty fantastic to keep going that way, but that's not for me. Today I have to go back up here, back along the side of the loch, and then descend our way back down to the viaducts and head back to Tyndrum. Let's get into it. Oh, that climb. Oh, that was a long slog. It wasn't long, it was just a slog. Long enough for sure. But we made our elevation. We were right down there having lunch. Now we're up here. Now we've got to go along the side of the loch, past the first valley to the right, further round, and that'll be us finding our way back. Right, let's see if we can find a bit of downhill, shall we? So we're still cycling around the north side of the loch, just about to do another water crossing. I've had to make myself slightly less fashionable. I've rolled down my socks and rolled up my sleeves because I'm starting to get tan lines, so can't have that. Oh, so a couple of thoughts while I'm baking in the sun here. Should have brought my sun cream. I put it on this morning, left it in the car. Nightmare. So I was thinking, I was watching the Tour de France last night, and it's all about power, you know, cadence, FTP, how much can they put out, how many watts can they do here and there. And I was like, I have completely lost interest in all of that stuff. I used to be all about that when I was road biking, but now I measure my success of the ride by smiles per minute. Not watts per kilo, smiles per kilo maybe. This is far more fun. A day like this, I'd argue, is way more fun than killing yourself on a 100-mile road race, for sure. I mean, maybe not, but I think for me, this is where it's at these days. Absolutely love it. Even with the wind and the sunburn. So we're back where we started at Loch Leon. We have completed a full circumnavigation. Excellent, really enjoyed that. If I was to judge the two sides, I would say the northern side, you sit slightly higher, so you might get better views. The southern side might be a bit shorter, so but other than that, they're pretty much the same. Excellent little loop that is. Loved it. Right, now we've got to climb out of here, which is the bit I've not been looking forward to. Let's get on with it. So I don't think my bike appreciated all the forwards I've been taking it through. The chain is squeaking and my bottom bracket is making a heck of a noise now. Definitely needs a good clean when I get home. Poor old thing. That's the worst of the climbing done. See that from earlier. Now we're going down here. According to this, 4.85k, and I'm just going to go for it. So you're only getting one camera angle. If you want better views, come here yourself. But I'm quite looking forward to descending this. Right, let's enjoy this. Here we are then, back on the West Highland Way, the West Highland Superhighway. What a fantastic day, absolutely brilliant. I'll put the stats for the ride down below. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not going to follow the West Highland Way back to Tindrum. I'm going to jump onto the A82. Now I don't normally advocate riding the A82, but I think given its peak season here and it's full of walkers, I don't want to get held up by walkers, I don't want to inconvenience walkers, and also there's quite a bit of hiker bike back at the start, so I'll just jump on the road and cycle the last bit home, back to Tindrum. So, thoughts on the route then? What an excellent day out. It's up there, top few rides definitely, probably could be top one if I went from Bridge of Orchy maybe, as opposed to Tindrum, because that West Highland Way route from Tindrum's not very good. Maybe the Bridge of Orchy bit's better. But other than that, everything I've done has been absolutely excellent. What would be my rusty recommendations that you should follow so you can enjoy the ride, get the best out of your day? I would say, number one, weather. There's a lot of ford crossings, so watch out for any heavy rain beforehand. Otherwise they could get a bit deep. There's not really any way to get around them. Also be confident that you don't mind getting wet feet, or you can cycle through them. Test your brakes afterwards as well. Constantly test your brakes because they're going to be wet most of the time. Number two, I would say bring lunch because there's nothing here. Once you leave the two, either Bridge of Orchy or Tindrum, there's nothing at all. So make sure you got all the supplies you need. And number three, there's no phone signal at all. So be confident that you can survive for a good few hours in the middle of nowhere with no support. But other than that, come here, have a great time. Absolutely brilliant. Go whichever way you want around Loch Leon. I don't think it matters. I liked the way I went, but you might like going the other way. No problem. I do plan to get back here. I want to do a ride from here that goes down Glen Leon a bit more and then over onto Rannoch Moor. But I wasn't doing that today. There was no way I could make that work. So just the loop today, but happy I came. Fantastic day out. Weather's been brilliant. I am sunburnt. And now I'm going to go and dice with the traffic on the A82. So if I survive, I will see you next week. If the schedule goes to plan, then we should be doing a local gem with a viewer. So we'll see how that goes. That could be pretty awesome. Yeah, so pending my survival on the horrible A82, I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do the things. See you later.